Well, we're finally here. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. This is not a walkthrough. This is not a playthrough. I'm just gonna, like I was saying, it's not a playthrough. It's not a walkthrough. This is a verdict video. Okay, as I slowly pan the camera, after playing pretty much, good 5 to 6 hours of Knockout City, I know what I want to give the verdict. I know what I mostly liked about it. I didn't really have a lot I had a negative about, and that really says a lot. Man, it was really hard to think of a negative on this because largely Knockout City really addressed a good chunk of things I actually highly like. So, the final score of Knockout City, just like Rumbleverse, is going to be a 9 out of 10. Why, you ask? I'll explain why. I'm really trying to find a negative. Like, I was trying to find a negative with Knockout City, and I really thought of it too. Maybe it was just microtransactions, but no, they were pretty fair in terms of the microtransactions, just getting the costume gesture and all that. It was actually much easier to level up compared to Rumbleverse. That was actually appealing and accessible to newcomers. I was gonna knock on it for making everybody too OP, but no, the challenge was pretty fair, and you actually could be OP yourself. The difficulty level of AI, well, the difficulty level of playing just multiplayer matches was not wrong at all. In fact, it was pretty fair. And then I was just like, there's not enough content with Knockout City compared to Rumbleverse, but no, they're about largely pretty much the same. They're both the same in terms of the content. I felt like it was much easier to get like collectibles and customization items and pretty much like bundle packs easily in Knockout City compared to Rumbleverse. In fact, you could actually be MVP easily compared to Rumbleverse. Rumbleverse was hard to be MVP. In fact, I never got MVP with Rumbleverse at all. So here's what's going to be the agenda for the verdict video. Obviously, we're going to talk about the verdict video of Knockout City, of why I give it a 9 out of 10. And then I'm going to talk about the scheduling that's going to be happening the rest of this week. So, buckle up. Hope you guys enjoyed the verdict video. Let's begin. So, I really thought really long and hard of what I was trying to give a negative my Knockout City. Rumbleverse, I think I had like a few nitpicks, but nothing too bad. I think it was mostly server issues. I actually had to look back at it. But for Knockout City, I tried to find a negative on this, but sadly, I could not find a negative on it. I feel like the later season and future seasons, I mean, clearly with the 9th season, I felt like that was enough time to pretty much fix any bugs, glitches, or anything that was not polished in the very first season of Knockout City. I felt like they did very well in their first season too. There's just too much positive. So let's start with the presentation. The game knows what it wants to be like Rumbleverse. Its presentations from its characters, its customizations, the taunts. But sure, the animation is not the strongest, but its presentation is the creators were clearly passionate about their presentation. Everything's just so goofy, silly, and with a little bit of jazz flavor, but it works for it. Whether you're just basically going through the city maps, yeah, whenever you're going through the city maps and all that, there's a very distinctive personality. It may not be the most prettiest looking game, the most technological game, like let's just say God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, but it has style. It has style, substance, and you get excited about it because the announcer gets you excited about the presentation. It's just so, like I said, silly but stylish with a jazz flair. and it even shows in its character models and its maps and pretty much through its mechanics. It's just so. I love that Knockout City is really adaptations. Oh man, I don't know if I pronounce it right. It benefits from its style because it just makes you kind of just like excited of what they'll do next. That's kind of the veins of Rumbleverse. I enjoy Rumbleverse too for its presentation, for its style too. So yeah, Knockout City really killed it with it. I'm actually pleasantly surprised it lasted for 9 seasons. Another thing that was positive about that too, it's weird, and people might have different opinions of what they didn't like or what they like about Knockout City. But another positive was its customization. I'll show you. I mean, these are the costumes I locked, but just the fact that there's so much content here of what you can unlock in terms of customization. But it just, I like that the customization is, well, Rumbleverse customization was pretty good too, but Knockout City, I actually very much like it. It kind of reminded me of those, like, the burger thief from McDonald's. It just, it was in the vein of that. It kind of leans into the presentation too. I just felt like there was enough customization and they were not boring. In fact, it really fits your style. Whatever, if you want to make them dress like a rat, you can do that. You want to make them dress up like the spacesuit right here, you can do it. You want to make them pretty much look like maybe the Incredible Hulk or just kind of like a Night Stalker. The possibilities of the customization is limitless, and it's just fun. It's irritating, amusing, funny, and you love earning it. And plus, it's easy to get. Once you play through pretty much 100 matches or play a lot of matches, you pretty much unlock like maybe 10 different costumes, but they're all fun, goofy, and it works still, and it kind of gels with the presentation. It actually does, which I'm actually pleasantly surprised. That's an A+ in my the game Knockout City motivated me to get all the collectibles, and I had a fun time. I liked getting all the customization because the gameplay was fun. Now, we'll lean into it. This might be one of my shortest review because there's a lot of positives, but I don't have a lot to say about this. Okay, so I know the gameplay is going to take me a while to explain that, but the gameplay was pretty much fantastic. It worked so well. It worked so fantastic. I kind of wish that live service games, if we do get another dodgeball simulator like this, hope it's in the vein of this. Knockout City had the most. I think I had even more fun than Rumbleverse. Rumbleverse gameplay was fun. I think it was perfect as it is for that one, but I think I had more fun with Knockout City. If I had to pick between Knockout City and Rumbleverse, I think I think Knockout City had the most fun gameplay because of its dodgeball mechanics. It's so easy, it's so simplistic. Same as Rumbleverse, but it's more simplistic, but in a very unique and fantastic and addictive way. You can do pretty much a loop shot, a spin shot, pretty much you can dodge like no one's business, and it's freaking cool. Throwing mechanics are perfect as it is. Catching the dodgeball makes you feel like a boss. All the different mechanics that you can do on that. Some, after I played the game for a good significant, I didn't even know I could do some of the cooler moves towards the end. And even the modes, I was gonna complain about the modes that we don't get a lot of modes, but I think they're perfect as it is. But I think that's gonna be another positive. But the dodgeball mechanics really takes the fundamentals of dodgeball in real life and implements it in video game form in the most way. This is like a game that friends and families can play and have fun with because it's classic dodgeball. And just the fact that they pretty much made addictive dodgeball mechanics that doesn't even feel like the frame rate dips or doesn't feel unfair. And that's what I also love about the gameplay. It's not unfair. It's fair for everybody. For no one feels overpowered. No one feels overpowered and no one feels underpowered. Everyone feels like on an equal footing, just like Rumbleverse. And that's what I appreciate that. You don't get that with live service games. You just get the people who are OP, been playing this game for pretty much ever since the game came out and still continue to play, and it shows. But not Al. Knockout City pretty much shows you that even if you didn't start on season 1, you can easily get into the game. That's what I love about it. You can easily get into it. Even if you haven't played it for a year or 2 years, like I have. Even if you haven't played the game for a long time, it's easy to get into. It's so accessible. Newcomers or advanced players can get into it. Everyone just feels on equal level footing, and I love that. And plus, the gameplay just makes it everything gels so well with this presentation too. You are basically pretty much a dodgeball champion, and that's what it's supposed to feel like by the time you get done with it. I love it. I love the gameplay. I think it's one of my... I don't think it's my top live service gameplay. I think that belongs to Overwatch and specific games, but it's up there. I highly enjoyed it. I highly enjoyed it. It's sad that this is going to close. The server is going to close tomorrow, but I think I spent enough time pretty much loving the gameplay, and I never got bored with it, too. I never got bored with the matches. I never got, because of the fantastic gameplay. It got intense. It was intense, but fair, simplistic, but frantic. There's just so many stories to tell in terms of the multiplayer. I have fun. I really have fun. And that's part of being a video game. Sometimes you don't really need the best graphics or the best artistic graphics or gameplay. Sometimes you just want to basically play some matches, have some simplistic gameplay, and just let loose. That's what Knockout City did extremely well. And all said. Okay, and I think the last positive, there's nothing I could write about the music. It's nothing like God of War, Red Dead Redemption, or Final Fantasy, no. The soundtrack, it's not even a complaint. It's there, but it's not the best. Kind of like Rumbleverse. It's just not the best. It's a live service game. Unlike Overwatch, that's kind of where the music's fantastic. But it's not... It's barely there. That pretty much sums it up. But another positive with pretty much Knockout City, it was actually the multiplayer modes. Even though I feel like we could have did a single player mode, but I think it's perfect as it is as multiplayer modes. Pretty much the 3-on-3 elimination and just the 2 rounds of like 10 of just straight up dodgeball. It's all fine. Because of the frantic or the fantastic gameplay, just pretty much is consistent with each mode. Nothing feels like a weak link in terms of the multiplayer modes. And I don't know if the super player or the superhero mode was something that got added at the later seasons. I don't remember that, but the superhero mods that you get in that's really one of the most fun and the most intense. I love the superhero mode. I don't think it was my favorite. I think it was the 3-on-3 with the 2. It was the team 3-on-3, not the elimination, but the team 3-on-3 KO. I just felt like that's where I got the most skills, the most basics, the fundamentals, learned some new moves by watching other players. Felt like a more equal footing. I got that from the superhero mode, but it was kind of a good Easter egg of like healing, ability, X-ray, and just feel like cliche superheroes, but with the dodgeball in it. And I highly enjoyed that too. But yeah, I felt like each multiplayer mode was right for this setting, and it just felt like, still with the fantastic dodgeball mechanics, it was still consistent throughout all the modes. I know I repeat myself, but it's fantastic dodgeball mechanics. I kind of really wish we see that later on. Sadly, we won't get another game with dodgeball mechanics like this. I know this is short, but that kind of sums it up. I don't have any other positives to say about it. I think you guys might disagree with me. I guarantee somebody might disagree with me that this deserves a 9 out of 10, but I think this is kind of one of those very unique live service games that I'm sad that it's going away like Rumbleverse. I just feel like they have potential to keep going. I don't think they would have got to the level of Fortnite or Apex Legends or like the other live service games I talked about, but I think it was up there. I kind of wish that, yeah, I really do wish it got to that point. But I get it. If there's not a lot of player fan base or player counts that is not as high as Fortnite and it's not making profits, then yeah, the developers were probably smart. They probably canned it. I don't know what the reasoning, and I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but it kind of sucks that we kind of got a unique game, just like Rumbleverse, and then if you didn't play it for long enough, it's gone. So, yeah, I appreciate Knockout City for the short time that we got it. I think it was fantastic. I had more fun with it in Rumbleverse. I had fun with Rumbleverse. Mind you, I still give that a 9 out of 10. But if I had to pick between the two, it's gonna be Knockout City. I love its dodgeball mechanics. I loved every aspect of it. It's very sad that it's closing tomorrow. I really wish I spent more time with it, but to be fair, let's face it, GG, when Final Fantasy VII Remake and God of War and other big AAA games, first party games, caught my attention, no, GG, I'm done. I'm playing those games. And I'm sorry, Knockout City, but that's kind of how it is. Oh, I did not know they could do that. So, I think that's pretty much it in terms of the verdict. So, here's what's going to be the schedule. It depends on how I feel, but it's going to be alternating between two games. And I know they're going to be short games, but we're going to finish it. So, depending on the day, I'm going to either do No Straight Roads. Well, sorry. Tomorrow is when the PS Essential games, or PS Plus Essential, same thing. So, it's basically Jurassic World, NBA 2K3, which is 170 gigabytes. Crap, that's a lot. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my 2 videos per game. So I'm not even gonna waste downloading Jurassic World because I don't give a flip. I really don't care about that game. It's based on a movie. I'm not gonna play a movie-based game unless it's Spider-Man 2. But other than that, I tend to stay away from movie-based games for good reason. So, tentatively, we're gonna say I'm gonna play Trek to Yoma. I think it's Trek to Yoma, because it had some pretty negative reviews, but I'm still curious about it. So, 2 videos on that. I think I'm gonna say tentatively tomorrow, and then we're gonna do 2 videos of pretty much NBA. Oh well, nope, can't do it because I'm trying to do like in order, so I can't do it yet. So I have to wait until 2K17. So, I guess I have to change it up. So, 2 videos of Trek to Yoma, and then we're either going to do either John Wick Hex for the rest of the day, or we're going to do No Straight Roads for the rest of the day too. And then the rest of the week, it's going to be just doing that. I want to start on the H section, but I kind of want to finish both games, John Wick Hex because I actually like that game, and No Straight Roads because I also enjoyed that game too. But we're going to be focusing on those 2 games the rest of the week, going all the way to Sunday. Saturday might take a break, but we'll see. But the major focus is going to be those 2 games. I know it might not be your cup of tea. You guys might not like that unless you pretty much you'll just see John Wick movies. Yeah. But for No Straight Roads, I don't know if you guys will care that, but I highly enjoyed that one too, and I'm ready to get back to that. So depending if we finish those 2 games pretty fast, because they seem short-ish games, then we're gonna go back to the main 3 that I actually want to go. I do want to go back to Elden Ring, that's one thing, but it will be depending on how fast we get done with those games. If not, then for Monday, we're either gonna do Spider-Man's Miles Morales. That's one option. Elden Ring. or continue Horizon Zero Dawn for Frozen Ross, so we could just get that done, so we can finally get to Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy schedule, but that's kind of what I'm up to. So at least we got a schedule going. That's kind of what's going on. I hope you guys enjoy my Knockout City, my short playlist. I wish there was more, but that's kind of it. So leave a like, comment, or let me do that again. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoyed Knockout City, or let me know what is your favorite live service game, and I'll let you know what are mine. I think I can pretty much be detailed on that. And, guys, of course, stay tuned. That's my catchphrase, and YouTube pay me $1 or royalties. Pretty much royalties. More than, well, you two get it.